Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of our distinguished guests, our distinguished students, our distinguished faculty, our distinguished staff. Welcome, everybody. I want to thank you for coming today to our official opening of the Integrated Science Complex. We had a trial run earlier in the year, but today is the official one. This is the first academic building constructed here at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, on this campus in 40 years. Now, we're fortunate to have with us today several special guests who will share their thoughts about this wonderful occasion. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to our Mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh. Thanks for coming home to the neighborhood. Susan Windham-Bannister, thank you. You're founding president and CEO of the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center. There's so much for you to see and hear today. We're so grateful for your presence. James Burns, head of Sanofi, one of our wonderful partners. Boston R&D Hub and member of our Board of Visitors, thank you for being here today. Victor Woolridge, that chairmanship looks good on you. New chair of the University of Massachusetts trustees. President Robert Caret, University of Massachusetts System. Henry Thomas, we see you there. We don't know what to call you today. We're just going to call you loved here on this campus. We're so grateful to have you here, Mr. Chairman, and grateful to you. We also have a student today. Maha, thank you for being here today. She is going to tell you why this is such a wonderful opportunity. She came here to pursue her graduate degree in psychology and a career that combines teaching with exploring the frontiers of cognitive visual neuroscience. We look forward to learning just what the new Integrated Sciences Complex means to you and what it's going to mean to those who come behind you. This is our gift to the future. Our colleagues, your colleagues here, are suffering through mud now, so the future on this campus will continue to thrive. I also want to welcome State Representatives Nick Collins and also Russell Holmes here today. Boston City Councilor Charles Yancey, Sheriff Stephen Tompkins. Sheriff, thank you for being here today. And also I want to introduce to this community, and we're so grateful to have him here, Secretary of Education, Jim Pizer. Stand up so we can see you. We're honored to have you here today. What would this event be without my Chancellor colleagues? We're going to welcome home Chancellor Michael Collins. Michael, you look good sitting over there in this chair. Here on this campus, we're grateful to have you here. As you know, he's leading our University of Massachusetts Medical School. And also we have our brother and friend, Marty Meehan from the University of Massachusetts Lowell here. We're pleased that you could join us today. So grateful for all that you do as chancellors throughout the system. We're also very proud that in the construction of this facility, Mr. Mayor, it was completed under a project labor agreement, a partnership between the labor, the Commonwealth, and the community and the university with a view toward achieving workforce goals for minorities, for women, for Boston residents, and for veterans. Throughout the life of this project, workforce goals were met or exceeded on a consistent basis. Because of this agreement, the ISC project has employed 48% of the Boston residents, 34% minorities, 10% women, and 6% veterans. This PLA has received praise and commendation from both the rank and file and the leadership of the unions, and we're overjoyed with what we have all been able to accomplish together. Now, I've been away for about 3 Wednesdays in a row. And I understand my colleagues had invited me to lunch here on this campus. I want them to know that you're a special guest here too today, as we will work together as we've done in the past to settle all the issues that we have, fund this contract and move it forward. I understand the mayor came up to make sure that he lets you know that he's working together with us to do that. So together, all of us will work together to make a difference. And so there are so many people here that we want to thank who helped to make this building a reality and who worked hard to shepherd this project. I remember when we started the building, there were people that came up to me and said, "Chancellor, you haven't had a building in 40 years. I don't know if I want to give you any ideas about it because by the time you build it, you're probably going to be gone somewhere." And look at what we're doing today. Our sincere gratitude to the project manager, the State's Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance, or DCAM, for your outstanding work. Commissioner Carol Gladstone, stand up so we can see you. Thank you. We're looking forward to working with you as we move on these different projects in the future. We also want to thank the project's generous funders, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the University of Massachusetts Building Authority, all my colleagues who have donated to this wonderful institution, Mass Development, to all those associated with Boston-based architectural firm Goody Clancy, all of you all, thank you, Goody Clancy. Walsh Brothers. Our hats are off to each of you for designing and constructing this beautiful building that has already become such a focal point for our campus. I told you that when you came here, we didn't want you to give us an 88% building. I wanted a building that would hug you when you walked on this campus, just like the embrace I feel every day among my colleagues here. And so, thank you for understanding that. Thank you, consultants and the dozens of subcontractors who worked on this project. All of you helped us fulfill this dream. Now, I can't forget the folk within our campus community. First, to the community, thank you for understanding what mud on your shoes really meant. Some of you said, "I don't know, Chancellor," but now you know as you ride around trying to get through two-way traffic, as you see the other buildings going up on this campus. I want to thank Vice Chancellor of Administration and Finance, Ellen O'Connor, Provost Winston Langley, Dean of the College of Science and Math, Andrew Grozowski, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, David Turkla, all of the Integrated Science Center department chairs, too many to name, but also I want to thank you, all the members of the executive leadership team, the Integrated Science Executive Committee, the members of our Capital Project Advisory Committee, and my other colleagues in the Provost's Office, Administration and Finance, Master Planning, Office, Facilities Management, staff, faculty, and students of this campus. To all of you who will be the researchers in this building, who beginning in January painstakingly moved your labs and your work into this wonderful new facility, and to those that are still in the throes of unpacking, and I want to thank you for your patience. I see you every day down at Maria's when this process was going on. "Chancellor, I thought we were moving in September." It took us 40 years to get this building. So another 4 months of getting it right is okay. Because I know with your help, we're going to get it right. We're going to move this forward. And so I'm so grateful to you for your patience. This was purposely designed. It was purposely designed to be interdisciplinary. The state-of-the-art research, the teaching, the training, laboratories that this integrated science center provides to advance student and faculty access, engagement, and success, and provide opportunities for partnerships across disciplines is second to none. With this amazing building and all of those individuals inside the building, because it's more than just about pretty buildings. We now have 5 different departments: biology, chemistry, physics, psychology, and the School for Environment, each storing research under one roof, integrating the sciences and affording collaboration like never, never, ever before. And so we now have a physical facility that matches the exceptional research capabilities of our students and our faculty and our staff. They have earned worldwide recognition for their work, and now we are providing them with the cutting-edge research facilities that all of you deserve. And so the Integrated Science Complex is also the first building on campus that will earn the United States Green Building Council's LEED Silver certification, and with sustainable features built in like the rooftop solar hot water system and laboratory spaces that take advantage of natural daylight. So some of you say that, well, what's the big deal? Ask some of my colleagues that have been here way longer than I have. It's a big deal. They have been working here tirelessly, serving their hearts out, raindrops falling on their heads, buildings that should be looking out on the ocean front, not doing that. They've never complained. And so I'm grateful for that. And that's why we work tirelessly every day to make sure that there is new opportunity on this campus for all of us. This building was the first new facility we envisioned for the campus in our bold and innovative 25-year master plan. Its completion is an achievement for which every single one of you on this campus should be proud, as it represents one of many concrete steps, keyword concrete, that our university has taken to transform and renew our campus. Today, with the formal opening, because I know some of you are tired of all the openings, but with this formal opening of this amazing facility, we're on our way. Now, as much as I hate to, because I love microphones, I have to turn it over to all of our special guests. But I want to say thank you again to this community. But I also want to invite an amazing individual up to the microphone, our mayor, Marty Walsh. Come on up, Mayor.
Thank you, Chancellor, and I have the unfortunate pleasure of following him at the microphone. But I think everyone else will as well, because he's going to introduce everybody. I want to thank Keith Motley, first of all, for today. I remember being out here at the groundbreaking, and I remember him talking about these buildings and talking to the community. And he actually started with Michael Collins a long time ago. He started talking about it. And when Keith came in, you really see life come into this campus. You see a lot of construction here, and the construction is a sign of positive growth here at UMass. And I have a chance a lot of times to talk to the young people that go to school here, and it's certainly, they're excited about it. And I want to thank all of the staff of UMass, because I'm looking out a lot of faces and that in the early days I went to a lot of meetings, and I want to thank you for your commitment to the school and to push this building happening, because it is the proud gem of Columbia Point, but it's also a proud gem in Dorchester. So thank you very much at UMass, everyone from UMass. I want to thank President Caret as well, and the Board of Trustees that are here today, and all the faculty and staff and students. I'm happy to join you here today opening this building. This is a place where people are going to come together to learn, collaborate, and discover. And that's an incredible thing. From biology to chemistry, environmental and ocean science, this building offers so many different options for so many different young people and people in the city of Boston. And, you know, even if the Research Center for Personalized Cancer, it has a research center, for personalized cancer therapy. And that's something important to my heart as a cancer survivor. It's clear that this place, this building and this program is world-class and cutting edge, and great research is going to happen right here. I was sitting there as the Chancellor was speaking, I was thinking about what's going to be invented in this building. What cure is going to happen in this building right here that was a field at one point. And that's what's very, very important that for us to understand. You know, life sciences is certainly an important sector in our city and our Commonwealth. Last year in Massachusetts alone, we received $1.72 billion of NIH funding. And that's something that we have to continue to grow to make sure that we continue the great research that we have. You know, this is part of a master plan of growth of this campus, and I'm excited that as a state representative, I was part of helping create something, a vision here, and working with the Chancellor and the board. As a mayor of the city of Boston, I look forward to building this here and making sure this happens. The Chancellor mentioned the project labor agreement, and I was at the early meetings. Mukia, you were there, I was there. We were there to see in the conversations, and there wasn't pushback. And what happened out of this project was that we had a chance to sit down with the contractor, Richard Walsh and his company, sit down with DCAM and the school building authority at the same table, because we said we need to be together. The building trades were at the table. And we had a lot of opportunity in this job to make sure that young people had an opportunity to learn and work on this project here. There was a young woman that was a laborer, 223 laborer. Her very first job in construction as an apprentice was right here. And she was proud out there, standing on that side of the building, talking about how she is building this building. This building gave a lot of young people an opportunity to grow, and certainly has showed us a pathway on how we can make this happen so it can happen. When you have numbers that we spoke about, giving people, women and people of color, the opportunity to work on this site. In the city of Boston, we have $8 billion of construction going on right now in the city of Boston. We have another $14 billion that's been approved through the pipeline. This is a model. What happened here is a model that we can take from this job, not just on public construction projects, but taking on private construction projects as well around the city of Boston, and say, we need to make sure we give people opportunities for employment. Because the people that build this building, it's important for them to have a job, but also the people that use this building afterwards, they're also going to have an opportunity. So I just want to end with, this has been an exciting week here on The Point. We started next door. We had the President and the Vice President of the United States of America open up the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, and talking about the opportunity there about having young people to come in and experience the opportunity of government and how government works, and learn the right way to do government. Learn the way that Senator Kennedy did by sitting down, and you heard the story over and over, if you were here earlier in the week, that Democrats and Republicans worked together behind closed doors to make things happen. And they went on the floor. They might have had fights, but they were able to move things along. And that's missing today. But that institute is going to help bring education to our young people. And today, we're in this science lab, as I said earlier, who's going to bring more education to young people, not just of this area, of this city, but this country. People are going to come to this institution and this university to learn. So it's a great honor to be here. I have a whole bunch of other things to say, but Keith Motley said it all. I mean, he took my lead science, he took it all. I can't really say much, but I just want to say this one last thing. I am so honored to be friends with this gentleman to my right because of the work that he's done in this institution. He wears this institution literally on his sleeve, and you can see it on his neck today. He loves this institution. He loves the people here. He treats the students, the faculty, the board members, the presidents, everyone that walks on this campus the same. There's no difference who you are. So I want to thank him for that, thank him to his commitment, and to all of you at UMass, congratulations.
However, I almost made a fatal error. Our Board of Visitors is here today, and I introduced them because they're our Board of Visitors. But my freshman college teacher is a member of that Board of Visitors, Dr. Irene Nichols, and she's here today, and I knew she would jack me up if I got off this stage and didn't at least acknowledge her, as she did the first time I walked in her classroom as a freshman all those years ago. I'm so honored that all of you are here to thank you, Mayor. And now we're going to come in the order that we're sitting. Thank you, Dr. Susan Windham-Bannister.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for a chance to say just a few words this afternoon, because I am truly excited to be here today. We've been a real partner to UMass in this journey. It's a special treat to be here with Mayor Walsh, to be here with President Caret, with Chancellors Collins and Meehan, Dr. Burns from Sanofi, the newly minted chair, Chairman Woolridge, Secretary Pizer, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and all of the elected officials. Chancellor, to you and to your team, congratulations, because as you said, this is a big deal. It's been my privilege for the past 7 years to lead Massachusetts Life Sciences Initiative. This is an investment by the state of $1 billion in the life sciences, and our mission is to accelerate the growth of the economy of the state by growing the life sciences sectors in Massachusetts. And our goal has been to make this the best place in the world for the life sciences. We're doing that by investing in the enablers, the accelerators of innovation, translational research, entrepreneurship, workforce development, which includes expanding the jobs in life sciences and creating pathways into those jobs for workers of all skill levels, infrastructure, and collaboration. And since 2008, we've invested about $600 million of public money, but we've leveraged it with $1.8 billion of matching investment. Since 2008, the life sciences sectors are the fastest job-producing sectors in the state economy. Massachusetts has more life sciences jobs per capita than any state in the country. And we are now the undisputed global leader in the life sciences. I'm especially, yes, we did it together. We did it together. I'm especially excited to be here today because UMass Boston is a great example of the life sciences strategy in action, and because UMass Boston and the entire UMass system have really helped us become the global leader in the life sciences. Our investments over the years in UMass Boston reflect our belief in this school and our commitment to this university. We have awarded a $10 million grant to fund the Center for Personalized Cancer Therapies, which is UMass Boston's joint venture with the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. That is housed right here in this new building. It provides training opportunities for students. It's one of the most diverse campuses, very exciting. It fosters the growth of new companies, and it advances scientific knowledge about personalized prevention and treatment of cancer. We gave a $750,000 faculty grant to the university, and that enabled the recruitment of Dr. Jill McCosker, who's been just a fantastic addition to run the CPCT. We have given a $600,000 grant to UMass Boston for its Venture Development Center. It's an 18,000 square foot wet lab and core facility. And we have funded with $300,000 more than 43 internships for students from UMass Boston at life sciences companies across the state. So again, congratulations on this milestone. Thank you for everything that you are doing. You are indeed UMass, here for a reason. And it has been our great pleasure to be your partner these past 7 years, and we're looking forward to partnerships in the years to come. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and no April Fools here. I'm so pleased to be here. And first of all, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Windham-Bannister. She's, through you and the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center, you've been such a great friend to Genzyme, and as well as the entire biotechnology and biopharmaceutical industry here. We're in the position we are to a great degree because of your leadership in the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center. So I want to thank you for that. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Mayor Walsh. We haven't had the privilege of meeting before, but I'd like to thank you for your leadership as well as the acknowledged support that you have for science education as well as higher education for the community that improves the lives of all of us here in the Boston area. And I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. We would love to have you come and visit the Genzyme manufacturing facility at Alston at some point. So hopefully we can see you there at some point. Chancellor Motley, we are so proud of the partnership that we have with the University of Massachusetts Boston, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit. And to be able to do that, I think I have to set the context for that by looking at this building. And the reason that we're here is because of how important STEM education is to the Boston area, but also to the entire nation. STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I work in the biopharmaceutical industry, and Genzyme is doing its part, it's Genzyme Sanofi here in this area. We have about 5,000 employees that are in the discovery, development, manufacturing, and delivery of important healthcare products in the area of rare genetic diseases, cancer, infectious disease. But we have a challenge. You may not realize the challenge that we have, but all of biopharma in the Boston area and throughout the nation have a challenge. There aren't enough quality STEM graduates. So what do we do about that? We thought about that quite a bit, and we were thinking, well, we'd love to give back to the community. It's part of our culture within Genzyme and Sanofi. We also want to help stimulate the STEM education locally. There's a lot of kids that are educated here, but they don't always stay here. We need to have STEM-educated graduates that are here that we can employ in our manufacturing facilities that we have here, as well as our research labs. In thinking about that, we discovered a couple of interesting facts. Number one, 76% of all University of Massachusetts alumni are here in Massachusetts. They live here, they work here, they have careers here. And most of them are here in the Boston area. That's fact number one. Fact number two, something that we learned as we were doing our homework, is that the University of Massachusetts Boston, through the College of Science and Mathematics, under the leadership of Dr. Andrew Grosowski, and hopefully he gets acknowledged at some point today, have a wonderful program for trying to raise the success rate for STEM education in students that come into the University of Massachusetts Boston. We met with the Chancellor, we met with Dr. Grosowski, and we realized that we had a shared vision and passion for STEM education. Not only that, we saw what was going up here a year and a half ago, over 2 years ago, and realized that Massachusetts and the University of Massachusetts take STEM education seriously. So we got serious too. In September of 2013, we formed a partnership with the University of Massachusetts, donating $1 million over 5 years to help expand the student success programs that Dr. Grosowski had started over about 5 years ago. The results are pretty impressive. The percentage of patients, I talk about patients a lot in my line of work. Hopefully the students are patients, but the percentage of students that have unsatisfactory grades has dramatically dropped. And that means that grade point averages are going up. And my favorite statistics here at the University of Massachusetts Boston, that the graduation rate for STEM education students that go through these programs is higher, significantly higher than the national average. Think about that for a moment, right here at the University of Massachusetts Boston. So we have kids that live here, they go to school here, they're going to continue to live here. They're going to have jobs here. They're going to have careers here, great careers in STEM education, thanks to the program that has been put in place here. And we're very, very proud to be part of that. So I'd like to just end by saying, thank you so much for being a great partner. We look forward to continuing that partnership, and very well done in making this an environment where STEM education can flourish for the students as well as the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Burns. I appreciate your comments there. For those of you who don't know me, I am the, I guess someone said, newly minted chair of the University of Massachusetts Board of Trustees. So good afternoon to everyone. And of course, our great Chancellor Motley, only he would think of designing a building that hugs people. So I just want to just start off with a couple of really brief comments, and again, say good afternoon to everyone, and just tell you that it's just really great to be here with all of you, and of course, with all of our guests. Mayor Walsh, really appreciate your comments here, not only here today, but also at the Edward N. Kennedy Institute just on Monday. It was really great to have you there and representing the city of Boston. And of course, President Caret and Chancellor Motley and Dr. Bannister, Windham-Bannister, and of course, Dr. Burns, to celebrate this important milestone for the University of Massachusetts here at Boston. And so on behalf of the Board of Trustees of UMass, I extend congratulations to Chancellor Motley, to the UMass Boston community, and on the opening of this integrated science complex, which I'm sure will do great things in the years to come. And as we can all see, it's a beautiful facility and represents the arc of your transformation as a premier urban public research institution. I'd also like to thank the UMass Building Authority for the work it has done to bring this project to fruition. We know that they do a lot of really hard work and supporting the university in all of its capital projects. And it's in large part because of the hard work of the UMass Building Authority that UMass campuses are undergoing a physical transformation to support research and scholarship. These efforts, in turn, are helping to drive students, faculty, and staff from across New England and around the country, and indeed around the world, to the University of Massachusetts. The Integrated Science Complex is the new crown, if you will, in the jewel of UMass Boston, or what others refer to as its front door. So for the Integrated Science Complex to be the first new academic building, as the Chancellor has said, on this campus in nearly 40 years tells you a lot about the direction in which this campus is headed. So as technology and the life sciences and innovation increasingly become integral parts of the region's economy, it is important that the only public university located in the city of Boston and the most diverse university in New England be actively engaged in the development and developing of the talent for producing the research that we all need. This new facility will support those efforts not only through the collaboration and partnerships fostered here, but also by the educational opportunities that students are provided so that they can be a part of these growing sectors that are so important to our economy. The Integrated Science Complex is just the first stake in the ground, given all of the construction we see taking place here, and I can imagine that over the next few years, this campus will become almost unrecognizable, and I know that's what the Chancellor is looking forward to, something that's new and gleaming, and so will the neighborhoods that surround this campus. This building is indeed a reflection of a whole new era for UMass Boston and for Morrissey Boulevard. So I look forward to hearing about the new scientific discoveries that will be made here and the lives of individuals that will be changed here as a result of the research and the scholarship that takes place in this building. So again, congratulations to you, Chancellor Motley, and to the UMass Boston community. And I have a strong sense that we'll be back again here soon with yet another building opening as we trudge through the mud. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Caret, President of the University of Massachusetts, and I want to join with the other speakers in welcoming you and thanking you for being with us on this very special occasion. I don't want to list all the dignitaries again. We're all beginning to memorize their names, but it's great to be here with so many partners, people from government, the mayor, several of my bosses in terms of the Board of Trustees, particularly Victor Woolridge, my newest board chair. I've been president 4 years. I've had 3 board chairs. It's a very precarious position to be in. And my partners, the chancellors who are with us, it is a team effort at UMass. It's a team effort internally. It's a team effort externally. And we're getting an awful lot done because of the leverage that comes from working with others. This, as the Chancellor likes to say, is the Public Urban Research University for Massachusetts. It's the only public research university in Boston. It is an exciting place to be. The future of Boston is tied in so many ways to this institution. It has been in the past, it is today, and it will be in the future. Through the doors of this institution and this building come the future citizens of this Commonwealth. And as has been pointed out, 70 to 80% of our graduates, and we graduate 17,000 students a year, 70% of our graduates and up to 80% stay here in the Commonwealth. They are the future of the Commonwealth. I said in one of my former speeches here on this campus, you can see the future of Massachusetts if you come to UMass Boston and have lunch in the Student Center. The diversity, the excitement, the energy that is in that center every day and that is across this campus every day is what the future of all of Massachusetts will look like as Massachusetts continues to evolve. Today we're focusing on the life sciences because we're here in the Integrated Science Complex. Massachusetts is #1 in life sciences. San Francisco likes to debate that with us, but we believe we're #1 in the life sciences. We're also #1 in innovation by many measures across the country. We're #1 in having world-class hospitals, many of which are teaching hospitals. And we're #1 in higher education, both public and private. Massachusetts is a unique place. We talk about having meds, medical hospitals, medical teaching hospitals, beds, lots of hotels and lots of tourism, and eds, lots of universities. Thriving cities, thriving commonwealths have meds, beds, and eds. Some of them have one, some of them have two. We have all three. It's an exciting place to be, and it bodes well for the future. We want to maintain that leadership role as we move forward. It's always better to be #1 than #2, 3, or 4. So we want to work hard to make sure that #1 remains there for us. This facility is going to be an integral part of that future in helping us achieve that goal. And it's here because UMass and UMass Boston had a vision. It's here because the Mass Life Science Center, as Susan mentioned, has a mission, and they've used that mission to help not only UMass, but UMass in many, many ways across all 5 campuses to take a #1 role in the life sciences in this state. And it's here because of Massachusetts itself and what it sees in itself and the support that it's provided in so many ways, financially and politically. I'm a chemist by training, and if you look at the facilities in this building, I was a dinosaur because the facilities here are so different than anything I was able to learn and work in over the years. And it's exciting for me, as someone who's been involved in STEM education my entire career, starting off as a high school teacher 100 years ago, to see this facility as part of that bridge to the future for our students. And what we've been able to do by having facilities like this on our campuses and by putting energy into the STEM arena is we've increased enrollment in STEM by over 38% over the last few years. And we're having, as you heard from Jim Burns, much more success at getting those students through the pipeline. So if you increase the size of the pipeline and you increase the throughput of that pipeline, things look well for the future, much better than they do today in terms of STEM graduates. It's a beautiful facility, but what's most important is what's going to happen inside this facility. The critical thing happening inside this facility is the shaping of the minds and the leaders of the future. So UMass Boston, Chancellor Motley, as I like to say, my favorite chancellor today, on my favorite campus today. Congratulations. I know this has been an odyssey. It is not something that comes easily, and there are always challenges, but you've been able to see it through. And to the UMass Boston family that's in front of me and above me, congratulations to all of you. And thank you for being part of this great celebration. It's a great celebration for this university and this system. Thanks again for being here.
Much further, right there.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Maha. I'm a PhD candidate in the Department of Psychology in the Developmental and Brain Science program. and it is indeed an honor to be part of this landmark day. I was preparing the speech yesterday, and it kind of occurred to me that it is indeed like ideal for a psychology graduate student to sort of share experiences about the research that happens at ISC. And the reason was very simple. The Department of Psychology accommodates a broad spectrum of research and is often highly interdisciplinary and hence collaborative. In some sense, this is an epitome of what the integrated science complex envisions. So what does ISC mean to me? The very short answer to this is it's awesome. And if I had to elaborate on what encompasses the awesomeness in this building, I would like to start with the very concept of a complex like this. By law of proximity, we know the layout of this complex is so beautifully done that it promotes collaboration, it provokes a lot of interactive environment, ambience, invokes highly interactive ambience for grad students to share, learn resources and knowledge, besides like sharing coffee machines and microwaves. And I think lodging sciences together is permeating this great environment for us. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually the research space here. And the general expectation with any new academic complex is that it should translate almost always to good space, more space, and for certain, a well thought out space that can accommodate all our research needs. And ISC is no exception to this general norm. So to give you a very simple example of what impact more space actually makes in like our working environment here, I am in a lab which studies visual attention and learning in human adults. And we, like in general, the basic things that we require are like 3 testing rooms maybe, with one for like participants, one for observers to monitor participants, and a waiting room. So this is ideal, and this is exactly the setup we have here at ISC. And the reason why I'm talking about something so basic like number of rooms we have is because something like this, a design with just one waiting room for participant, makes a huge deal in our schedule, like the way we schedule participants and the amount of data we collect. So the power of space is simply right there. It starts there. And talking about space, it is almost impossible for me to not comment about the spectacular panoramic view around this building of the harbor area, the Boston skyline, and of course, the awesome, like the beautiful interior lightings here. You should really ask any graduate student or faculty member in this building how they actually think about being in a building with glass windows, and in response to that, you will see a broad smile. It's a genuine response that completely reflects what they think about it, which is eternal happiness. So besides the smart layout of the labs here, I must really mention about the general interiors in this building, like the couch area, for instance, and the well-equipped conference rooms. These are great for small discussions. These are great for group meetings, group talks. And my favorite around this building is actually the whiteboards that are frequently placed in every hallway and in every floor here. And I cannot possibly tell you how much it escalates communication. Like having to explain concepts using primitive audiovisual aids, like explaining an air, to actually drawing out stuff. It makes a huge difference. And that's my favorite in this building. So thank you all for this incredible and useful and thoughtful design. In total, I see the Integrated Science Complex as a monolithic building of inspiration for us and for all the generations to come. And today marks the beginning of a true transformation to us. On behalf of all graduate students and PIs housed in the ISC, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and thank everyone who's been instrumental in making ISC possible. Thank you.
So I have a new toy, something that's actually tall enough. City Councilor Baker, welcome. So grateful to have you here today. Nolan and Iggy, come up here. This is our student trustee. This is the young man who also leads our student government process here. I just wanted you to see, I wanted you to be up here because we're going to cut the ribbon soon, and you need to position yourself among, those in the front and all that. But I also wanted to show you off to those that are guests here today, because we just showed off. Maha, thank you so much for making us understand why it's important. It's all about this gift to you and then to the future and all those students across the generations that will come to this institution. Here at the Commonwealth's capital city public research university, University of Massachusetts, Boston, we always want to make sure that, as our founders wanted us to do, that we always pay attention to being equal to or better than the best. And you should expect that when you cross Morrissey Boulevard and come here. No excuses. And so I know we have it in and out of the classroom, and I'm so grateful that our students, all of you, have chosen to be here. And so I want to start by thanking again, Allie, where are you, and your team, all the events management team. Thank you all for today and every day, all that you've had to do with the Edward M. Kennedy Institute opening and then coming back today, all of our people in public safety and facilities and everyone who contributed to making this event wonderful. Andrew, I know you have been mentioned several times. Stand up so people can see our Dean of Mathematics. And I love those kind of statistics. Keep them up. So after we officially cut the ribbon, you are all going to be invited upstairs to a reception prepared by one of the great chefs in this country. Chef Ernie, who's running around in his jacket somewhere, has prepared some food for us. We're also going to do some tours. Some of you are toured out, but you're going to be touring again here at this center. You're going to go to our biology teaching labs and also our School for the Environment facilities. They're just one flight up on the second floor. That's a long flight, but that's where it is. And you could take the elevator if that looks a little bit, but I love how it looks. It looks so good. In fact, I'm walking up that way. We encourage you to come, sample some of the heavy hors d'oeuvres, and then see more of this extraordinary building, but more importantly, to gather together for conversations. Thank you again to Walsh. Thank you to all of you all, but thank you to Goody Clancy. Thank you to DCAM. And let's begin the process of cutting the ribbon.